The fire crackles softly, its glow flickering against the mud walls. The woman sits alone, knees drawn close, listening to the heavy rain drum against the roof. Outside, the wind howls through the trees, rattling the wooden shutters. Once, this house was filled with laughter, with voices calling her name, but now, silence is her only companion. She sighs, poking at the embers. A sharp knock echoes through the room. The woman stiffens. Another knock, louder, more urgent. Her fingers tighten around her walking stick. No one comes this far out at night, not in a storm like this. She glances at the door, hesitating. The knocking comes again. Slowly, she rises and steps closer. Who is there? Her voice is firm, but inside, her heart beats like a drum. A voice, low and strained. Please, shelter from the storm. She hesitates, pressing her palm against the wood. Strangers bring trouble. Everyone in the village knows that. The last time an outsider came unannounced, misfortune followed. Yet the elders always say, a stranger's shadow may hide a blessing or a curse. Her fingers unlatch the door. A hooded figure stands before her, drenched, trembling. Rain drips from the folds of a worn cloak. The man does not step forward, does not beg, only bows his head slightly. I ask for nothing but a roof until morning. She studies him. His voice carries no fear, no pleading, only quiet resolve. A man used to the road, used to being unwelcome. She steps aside. The stranger moves in, silent but sure, careful not to drip on the woven mats. He does not shiver, though his clothes are soaked. He does not demand food or fire, only lowers himself onto the floor with the patience of a man who knows the rules of another's home. The woman watches him, stirring the pot over the fire. Your name? Cato, a simple answer. No more, no less. She nods, setting a dry cloth near him. Rest, Cato, the storm will pass. But later, deep in the night, she stirs from sleep. A sound, soft, rhythmic, a gentle scratching like fingernails against wood. Her eyes snap open. The sound comes from the stranger's room. She listens, body tense, breath shallow. The fire has burned low, casting long shadows against the walls. Scratching, a pause, a whisper, low, distant, as though someone is speaking beneath the floor. Her fingers clutch her blanket. It is just the wind. But the air feels different. The night has brought something else into her home, and for the first time in years, she wishes she were not alone. The village stirs with the first light of dawn. Women carry baskets on their heads, laughing as they move toward the river. Children chase each other between the huts, their bare feet kicking up dust. The men gather near the meeting tree, their voices deep, their hands busy with work. But as the sun begins to set, the mood shifts. Doors close early, fires burn lower, whispers replace laughter. The people of Mugono know better than to trust the night. Mama Nandi walks through the village square, basket in hand, nodding at familiar faces. An old woman catches her wrist. You have a stranger in your home, the old one says, voice low, eyes sharp. Mama Nandi sighs. And? Strangers bring misfortune. Others nod in agreement. You should send him away before it is too late. Mama Nandi chuckles, shaking her head. Not all strangers are bad. The old woman leans in. And not all strangers are what they seem. She waves them off, adjusting the basket on her hip. Superstition. Fear. The village has been this way for years. Always whispering, always afraid of what they do not understand. Back at home, Cato works without complaint. He hauls water from the river, chops firewood, fixes the broken fence. He does not ask for more food, does not speak much, just works. Mama Nandi watches from her doorway, arms crossed. Perhaps the village fears too much. Night falls, the wind rustles through the trees. The house is quiet, the fire flickers, then scratching. Mama Nandi opens her eyes, her breath catches, a whisper, soft, barely there, a voice low, steady, speaking, but not to her. She sits up slowly, straining to hear. More whispers, words she does not understand, the sound of something moving against wood. She swings her legs over the side of the bed, half feet touching the cool earth. The noise comes from Cato's room. She hesitates, fingers tighten around the edge of her blanket. No, she forces herself back down, pulling the covers up to her chin. It is nothing. At dawn, she steps outside, stretching her arms. The air is fresh, the sky streaked with gold. Birds call from the trees. Then she sees it. The dirt outside Cato's window. Lines, shapes, symbols. Not random, not accidental, a pattern. Carefully drawn. Her stomach tightens. She bends down, tracing one with her finger. The whispers return to her mind. The scratching. The voice in the dark. She stands abruptly, dusting off her hands. Had she been wrong? The village warnings press at the back of her mind, voices of caution she had ignored. Her gaze shifts toward Cato's room. Tonight, she will not sleep. Tonight, she will watch. The night is silent, save for the wind pushing against the thatched roof. The fire has burned low, casting long, wavering shadows on the walls. Mama Nandi moves carefully, each step measured, her breath steady. She stops outside Cato's door, pressing her palm against the rough wood. A faint glow seeps through the keyhole. Slowly, she leans forward, pressing her eye against the tiny opening. Cato kneels on the floor, his back hunched, his hands hovering over a wooden box. His fingers move, not touching, but guiding, shaping something unseen. The candle beside him flickers, but his shadow does not. It stretches, it bends, it moves, though he remains still. Mama Nandi jerks back, pressing a hand against her mouth. Her heart thunders in her chest. The shadow twists unnaturally, stretching toward the walls, elongating like a living thing. A whisper, low, deep, coming from nowhere. She stumbles back, breath shallow, and hurries to her bed. She does not sleep. Dawn breaks, golden light spilling across the village. Mama Nandi steps outside, rubbing her tired eyes. Her gaze sweeps the yard, and then she freezes. The wooden fence is broken. The rope hangs loose. Her best goat is gone. She rushes to the empty pen, scanning the ground. No tracks, only disturbed earth, as if something heavy had pressed into it. She marches back to the house, her voice sharp. Cato! He appears at the doorway, calm as ever. My goat is missing, she says, watching his face. You were awake last night. Cato shrugs. I know nothing, Mama. His voice is steady, his expression unreadable. Something cold settles in her stomach. The villagers gather by the great baobab tree. The news spreads quickly. It is not just her goat, someone says. 2 chickens from my yard, gone. My cow vanished without a trace. The whispers grow, thick with unease. It is not a thief, an elder mutters, shaking his head. It is something else. Mama Nandi listens, her fingers gripping the edge of her shawl. She says nothing. But that night, she does not sleep. The fire crackles softly, casting orange light against the walls. Mama Nandi lies still, her breathing slow, steady. She waits. The night stretches on. The wind hums through the trees. The house is silent. Then, movement, soft steps, a careful push of a door. Cato is leaving. She counts to 10, then rises silently. She wraps her shawl around her shoulders and follows. The night is thick with shadows. She stays close to the trees, her bare feet careful on the cool earth. Cato moves ahead, swift and deliberate, deeper into the forest. Mama Nandi's pulse quickens. He stops at a clearing. The moonlight spills over him, casting his shadow long against the ground. A low murmur escapes his lips. The language unfamiliar, thick with something ancient. She watches as he kneels. His hands sweep over the earth, fingers tracing the dirt. Then, movement. The ground shifts. A tremor, small but undeniable. The buried bundle twitches. The soil loosens. A shape begins to rise. Dark, twisted, unnatural. Mama Nandi gasps. The figure turns. The air thickens, heavy with something unseen. Cato's whisper grows louder. The ground shudders. Something is waking. Mama Nandi takes a step back, her pulse pounding, and then a twig snaps beneath her foot. Silence. Cato's head jerks up. His eyes glow red. The air grows thick, heavy with a presence unseen. Mama Nandi's breath catches in her throat. Then a twig snaps beneath her foot. Cato's head jerks up. His eyes, no longer human, glow red, burning like embers in the darkness. A twisted smile stretches across his face. You should not have come here, old woman. The wind howls. His shadow moves, too long, too sharp, bending unnaturally toward her. Her hands tremble, but she remembers the elder's words. Always carry these. Shadows fear the sacred touch. She reaches into her shawl, fingers closing around the dry, crumbling leaves. Cato lunges. With a cry, she flings the protective herbs at him, a sharp hiss. His skin smokes where the leaves touch, curling and darkening as if burned by fire. He stumbles, clutching his arm, snarling like a beast. Mama Nandi turns and runs. She bursts into the village, gasping, heart pounding against her ribs. The stranger Cato, he is not a man. Her voice cuts through the quiet. He wakes the dead. Doors creak open. Faces peer out, fear flickering in their eyes. The village chief steps forward, his staff gripped tight. Tell me everything. She does. By dawn, warriors stand ready, spears sharp, charms tied around their wrists. The eldest elder sprinkles protective dust over the ground. Tonight, we end this. The chief nods. No more waiting. We strike first. Night falls. The forest is silent, too silent, even the crickets do not sing. Hidden among the trees, the warriors wait, breath slow, grips tight. A figure moves in the clearing. Kato kneels in the dirt, his hands digging, pulling up bones long buried. The warriors step forward. The chief raises his spear. Stand up! Kato does not flinch, his fingers tighten around the bones. You do not understand, he says, voice smooth, almost amused. The dead do not sleep forever. The chief's voice hardens. What are you? Kato laughs, low, dark, unnatural. I am a night sorcerer. I wake the ancient dead beneath Mugono. He lifts his hands. The ground trembles. The trees whisper. The shadows shift, then rise. Figures take shape, dark, hollow-eyed, moving without sound. The warriors strike, spears flashing, but their weapons pass through, hitting nothing. The shadows close in. A warrior screams as cold fingers wrap around his throat. Another stumbles back, eyes wide with terror. We cannot fight them. Mama Nandi watches, her mind racing. The elders spoke of spirits, of ancient evils, of a weapon long forgotten. Her eyes widen, the drum. She runs, through the village, past the gathering huts, to the old shrine where the sacred things are kept. Her hands shake as she lifts the lid of a wooden chest. Inside, covered in dust, rests the ancestral drum. Her fingers trace its surface. This drum does not play music, it plays power. She hoists it into her arms and rushes back. The village is chaos. Shadows swirl. Warriors fall to their knees. Kato stands at the center, arms raised, laughter echoing. She lifts the drum and beats it. Boom! The air shakes, boom. The shadows shriek, their forms twisting, writhing, boom. They dissolve, vanishing into the night. Kato's laughter cuts off. He turns, eyes wide with rage. No! Boom! He staggers back, his skin cracking like old clay. Boom! His body crumbles, breaking apart. One final cry, then silence. The wind carries away the dust that was once Kato. At his feet, the wooden box remains, untouched, waiting. The elders say evil must not be destroyed, only sealed away. Wrapped in sacred cloth, the wooden box rests in their hands, a burden, a curse. They walk in silence, feet steady, eyes watchful. The great baobab tree looms ahead, its roots twisting deep into the earth. A pit is dug. The box is lowered, swallowed by darkness. With solemn voices, they chant blessings, pressing the soil firm, making sure the secret never rises again. The wind stirs the leaves, whispering as if the tree itself is listening. The past is buried. For now. Dawn breaks. The village stirs, blinking at the golden light after a long cursed night. A cry rises from the fields. Goats, chickens, cows, thin, trembling, but alive. The missing animals wander back, their eyes dull, their bodies weak. The villagers rush forward, touching them, counting them, murmuring in awe. Was the spell broken? Someone whispers. A baby goat stumbles toward its mother, bleating softly. No one speaks the answer. Mama Nandi stands apart, watching. The people gather around her, their eyes filled with gratitude. They call her wise, strong, a protector of the village. But she only nods, gripping her shawl tighter. The warmth of trust, once easy, now feels dangerous. Not all who seek shelter come in peace. She will never forget that again. The village changes. Warnings are no longer ignored. Elders speak, and now people listen. Doors are bolted at night. Strangers are greeted with watchful eyes, not open arms. Some call it fear, others call it wisdom. No one argues. On stormy nights, when the wind howls and the trees groan, some wake with a chill on their skin. In the distance, past the last hut, beyond the whispering trees, a sound lingers, soft, almost like a voice, a warning, or a memory. Some evils should never be disturbed. Some lessons are taught, others are carved into memory, never to be forgotten. The people of Mugono do not forget. They speak of the night a stranger nearly brought ruin, of the woman who saw the truth when it was almost too late. Mama Nandi's tale is told around fires, whispered to wide-eyed children before sleep takes them. Not all who seek shelter come in peace, the elders say. A warning, a truth, a shield against what lurks in the dark. Kindness is a virtue, but blind kindness? A dangerous door left open. To offer a hand without caution is to invite shadows into one's home. Mama Nandi learned this, and so did the village. Never again would they ignore the words of the elders. Wisdom is protection. Had she not listened, had she ignored the signs, Mugono would have fallen. The whispers in the night, the symbols in the dirt, the shifting shadows. Warnings had been there all along. It is not fear that keeps people safe. It is knowing when to be cautious, when to trust, when to stand firm. Now, the village remains watchful, Strangers are not turned away, but neither are they welcomed without thought. The people trust their instincts. They listen to their elders. And when the wind rises, howling through the trees, no one sleeps too deeply. Some say on stormy nights, whispers still drift through the forest. Soft, distant, almost a voice, a warning, a memory, or something that never truly left.